Of course, kasama natin din this morning ang ating boxing champion, isa sa mga kalahok natin sa darating na Tokyo Olympics, si Iris Magno. Welcome to Tops, Iris. Kasama din natin this morning ang ating virtual karate world #1, si James Santos. Yes, and another gold medalist from karate, si Fatima, I think kasama na natin, no? And kasama rin natin sa ngayong umaga ang president ng Philippine Kendo Association, si Sir Kristopher Inting.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, Vice Chair, maybe Komar, can we hear a few words from you?
Thank you, Ma'am and Ed Andaya.
Thank you, Komar. Sir June, welcome po sa Tops. Can we hear a few words from you?
Yes, good morning, Sir Ed. It's a pleasure to be part of today's forum sa Usapang Sports. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir June. Well, Iris, welcome to Tops. Your opening remarks, please. Iris?
Irish, can you hear us?
Nako, wala signal.
Lag po ata si Irish. You can go back to her.
Yeah, siguro. Pastor, maybe si Sir Kristopher. Sir Kristopher, can we hear a few words from you, please?
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Again, thank you for having me here today. I'd like to, again, I'm the president of the United Kendo Federation of the Philippines, and I would very much like to introduce our martial art / sport to you this morning. Hope that everyone can learn a bit more about what we do. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Sir Kristopher. James, welcome back to Tops.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you again for having me here. It's really an honor.
Thank you, James. Si Fatima is with us na, no? Fatima, welcome to Tops.
Thank you, sir. I'm so grateful to help.
Okay, Pastor, si Iris, nandiyan na?
Yes, she's back, sir. Hi, Irish. Can you hear us? All right. Would you like to say a few words, opening remarks? Irish? Yeah. Would you like to say a few words, opening remarks to all our viewers right now?
Good morning po, and thank you po sa pag-invite, Tops.
Thank you. Sir Ed?
Okay, Pastor, siguro ako na magsimula magtanong, no? Kay Commissioner Mar Masanggid, Commissioner, welcome po again sa Tops, no? Salamat sa pagdalo mo dito sa aming Usapang Sports. Going back to Gov, alam natin na very busy ang Gov, lalo na ngayon may panahon ng pandemic, and isa sa mga issues na nababalita ngayon is yung plano ng Senator Manny Pacquiao na magkaroon ng another commission, yung Philippine Boxing and Combat Sports Commission. And we all know na isa sa mga problema sa sports yung budget, no? Ano po ba masasabi niyo dito sa plano na magkaroon ng bagong commission na well, alam naman natin na GAP under Chairman Baham Mitra is doing its role and its mandate very well, no? So nababalitaan natin yung mga ginagawa ng GAP under Mitra, under sa iyo and kay Commissioner Ed Trinidad. So do you think itong boxing commission na Boxing and Combat Sports Commission is napapanahon pa?
Alam mo, Ed, lahat ng ating mga kasama ang dami-dami ng problema ngayon na dapat natin harapin. But bakit dyan ba tayo nag-focus sa Philippine Boxing Commission na yan? Hindi naman muna kailangan yan. Ngayon, Ed, alam mo, ang problema ngayon natin sa Pinas, itong bagyo, na hanggang ngayon mayroon pa ang ating itong pinaka-problema nating pandemic natin at naparaming mapiktuhan, ilang buwan natatapos. Bakit dito ba tayo nag-focus? Nung mayroon kaming hearing dyan sa ni Senador Manny Pacquiao, sabi ko sa kanya, boss, kung may problema kayo, kung may programa kayo, hindi problema, programa ang inyong kagawaran, pwede na ibigay na lang siguro sa GAB. Kami na mag-implement sa GAB. Anyway, ang nakita ko ngayon, kay Chairman Baha Mitra at sa akin kasama si Commissioner Ed Trinidad at kay Chief Joe Bautista and another Jabong Garcia, nakita ko na one body lang kami. Lahat ng bagay sa GAB, sa office namin, pinag-usapan. Ito pa tayo nag-focus ngayon sa PBC na ito. Na hindi naman masyado pa, alam mo nang linagay kami ni Presidente dyan sa GAB na yan. Para dagdag serbisyo, hindi bawas serbisyo, kundi dagdag serbisyo. Kung alam ko lang na ganun ang mangyari diyan na matagal na yung GAB na yan. Matagal na ang boxing GAB. Bakit ngayon pa lang panahon namin na maganda naman ang nakikita na maganda naman maganda naman ang programa ng GAB ngayon sa nakikita ko. Nakikita ko si Chairman Baha Mitra talagang masipag at magaling. At kayo mismo, Ed, mga grupo ng media ay pumupunta sa GAB. Welcome na welcome. At ano ang problema, pinag-usapan. Sa palagay ko, may problema, may solusyon. Yun man ang nakikita ko. Bakit ngayon natin ipopokus itong Philippine Boxing Commission na ito na panahon natin at alam mo ang GAB noon before hindi alam na tao ng GAB. What is GAB? May ano ba dyan? May loto ba dyan? Sa GAB na yan? May STL ba yan? May loto outlet ba yan? May casino ba dyan? So hindi talaga alam. Kahit nasa PBA, makikita natin before of the game. Makikita yung Games in Amusements Board at pinakita sa publiko na talaga mayroon talagang GAB, mayroon palang GAB. Kasi noong GAB talaga hindi naman ako tumitira sa mga kasama natin dati, pero nakita ko lang ang GAB kahit nung nakaupo ko sa GAB, first time ko mag-upo sa GAB. Sabi ng mga tao, ano yan GAB? May GAB ba? May GAB ba na nasa gobyerno ngayon? Sabi ko itong GAB na ito ay separate ng Philippine Sports Commission, another separate ng PCSO, ng PAGCOR. Ito ay iba-iba ito. Kaya ngayon, nasa GAB kami, laging sinusulong ni Senador Manny Pacquiao ang Philippine Boxing Commission. Sabi niya, kung mas maganda daw na siyang magdadala at kasi daw yung mga ibang boksidor sabi na yung ibang boksidor na magpunta ng ibang bansa, wala daw mag-assist. Nandiyan naman ako. Nandiyan naman ang lahat ng GAB. Sa katunayan kami ni Chief John Bautista. Nagpunta kami ng ibang bansa. Kasama namin ang mga boksidor. Ibig sabihin, hindi namin pinabayaan ang mga boksidor ng GAB. Ang tanong ko dyan kay Senador Manny Pacquiao, ganito. Ang tagal-tagal ng GAB dyan. ng boxing sa GAB, bakit ngayon pa lang kukunin? Ano ang pakay? Ano talagang plano? Anong target? So kung maano natin 'yan, yun ang kasi ang mga tanong ng mga tao. Na ang parang pinupuri kasi nung consultation laging pinupuri si Anggab commissioner, Anggab chairman, pero kukunan ng boxing. Parang sa ano pa parang ganito, parang nakita ko na parang competition ng yung takbo, yung running. Sasabihin ng referee na, sige, tumakbo ka. Oh, nasa gitna ka na. Sige, malapit na sa finishing line. Pagdating mo sa finishing line, sabihin ng referee na disqualified ka. So, hindi maganda yung ganun. Hindi maganda yung. Kung purihin natin ang gabi, ibig sabihin maganda ang performance. Now, kung kulang man ang performance, nakita ninyo, so sinong medyo alanganin, ang maganda dyan magtulungan. Kung nakikita nyo, magtulungan tayo. Kasi si Presidente Duterte ay talagang all-out supports ngayon sa programa ng GAB. Kasi nakikita ni Presidente na magandang ginagawa, magandang performance. Pero again, sasabihin ko na lang na bakit dito pa tayo mag-focus sa pagkuha ng boxing sa GAB sa panahon ng maraming problema ngayon, maraming problema ng anong mayroon diyan? Bakit dito tayo focus sa panahon ngayon? Kung mayroon daw 150 million na budget, kung mag-create na daw mag-separate na ang boxing sa GAB, may 150 million. Yung 150 million, ibigay na lang sa GAB yan. Kami na mag-implement yan. Anyway, lahat man naka-record man yan. At saka nakita man natin si chairman, hindi ko man sasabihin kay chairman na pinupuri ko siya dahil chairman kasama ko, hindi naman. Ako magpuri ng tao, nakikita ko talaga na maganda yung kanyang ginagawa. At magaling sa plano, approachable sa mga tao, o anong problema, sa palagay ko kung may problema, may solusyon. Salamat Ed, thank you.
Ako Mar, nabanggit mo yung sa budget, no? Do you think with the limited resources ng gobyerno natin ngayon because of the pandemic, yung budget na inilalaan dito sa bagong boxing commission na pinupus ni Senator Manny, magkano po ba yun? And do you think naaayon po ba yun na mag-allocate ulit ang gobyerno natin ng bagong budget na, well, alam naman natin na nandiyan na yung GAB and because of the efforts ng GAB, kahit limited yung budget, nagagawa naman yung mga programa sa boxing.
Kaya yan ang tanong Ed. Ganito i-separate yung PBC sa GAB para another budget. Okay. Ang gobyerno ngayon naghihirap. Bakit create ng PBC i-separate sa boxing, another budget na yan. So kung nahirapan tayo sa pandemic, pera, how much more mag-create pa tayo ng commission na yan? Ngayon sa panahon ito talaga, sinabi talaga ni Presidente, talagang sa 8 months na yung pandemic natin, ang grabe ng pera na ginastos na. So dito pa tayo kung mayroon perang mag-create ng PBC na yan, ilagay na lang yan kung lalo na lang patatagin natin yung programa ng GAB. Kung may pagkukulang, kung maganda yung performance, lalong pagandahin natin. Kasi nandiyan na lahat. Yun nga, sinabi ko na ang dami ng problema ngayon, bakit tayo mag-create pa ng PBC? Ibig sabihin, another budget na naman. So yun ang medyo nagtaka lang ako kung bakit, anong mayroon dyan? Na para kasi sabi ni Senator Manny, na ano daw niya to expedite the program of PBC para daw matapos na daw lahat. Bakit? Dami-dami lang. Yung pira dyan, kung may pira tayo, ibigay natin sa mga tao. Maraming naghihirap ngayon. Yan na baha sa Luzon. Araw-araw, oras-oras, ang tao umiiyak dahil sa kahirapan. Walang pagkain. Doon natin ilagay. Kasi yung maybe beyond 2022, baka mag-create na siya ng PBC na yan. Anyway, mayroon pa man siyang ilang taon pa, nandyan pa siya sa Senado. Kami naman, hanggang nandyan si Presidente, nandyan kami, mga presidential appointee, hanggang nandyan si Presidente, nandyan kami. Ganun lang ang buhay ng tao. Well, meaning, ang gusto namin marinig na, kasi may nagsabi sa amin, yung taga-gov daw, mga grade 1 lang daw. Grade 1. Magandang tanong yan. Grade 1 lang daw. Bakit? Saan ba kayo nanggaling? Naging abogado, naging professional. Saan ba kayo nanggaling? Galing kayo sa grade 1? Kaya kami, grade 1 kami, nag-ingat kami para maging grade 2 kami. Grade 3, grade 4 hanggang maging kolehiyo kami dahil sa serbisyo ng gobyerno. Yun ang nakikita ko. Ed?
Thank you for the answers, Comar. No? Vice Chair, tanongin ko naman
Maliwanag ba?
Yes, sir. Thank you po.
Comar.
Naman, Ed, prank ka lang ako ha. Ayoko kasi ng paikot-ikot. Yung kasi nagsalita ako, Ed, alam mo, nung way back 2014, I am the man who introduced the Mayor Digong to run for president. The first man, ang tawag niyan is the man behind the scene. Mahirap ang ginagawa ko. Hindi kung pag-usapan niya magdamag pa tayo dito. Hindi matatapos yan, but God is always with me. Kasi alam mo, halos 99 hindi maniwala. Siguro ako na lang konti na lang kulang para hindi ko maniwala sa sarili ko. But inisip ko na I am the leader, I am the Duterte for President 2016 movement, that was 2014. Ano ko lang na because nakita ko the only man can unite the Filipino people. Nakita ko lang the Mayor of Davao, of course the person of Mayor Duterte. Ang nakita ko lang na kasi kung walang Digong, hanggang ngayon marami tayong problema. Marami tayong problema. Of course, mapektuhan ang programa ng GAB. Walang masyado epekto, walang masyadong resulta. Alam mo, ang GAB ngayon ay mayroon ng free medical ang mga buksidor. So dagdag yan programa ng GAB na ginagawa ko. Ang ginagawa namin ni Chairman Bahamitra at ni Commissioner Ed Trinidad. Alam mo ang buhay, siyempre ang buhay sugal lang yan eh. Tsamba lang yan. Tsamba, makaserbisyo ka. Nandyan ako sa GAB, medyo parang dumaan lang sa buhay ko, naging GAB ako. Commissioner, naging barangay chairman ako ng Davao, almost years. Walang lumalaban dahil siguro medyo maganda ang ating ginagawa. Hindi ko masasabihin maganda ginagawa. Pagbasihan yung walang kalaban, meaning ang aking serbisyo kung magandang aking performance sa barangay, siguro nadala ko diyan sa Luzon at gusto ko lang na ako tahimik na tao, alam mo Ed, hindi ako masyado chismoso, hindi ko masyado chismoso. Ang akin lang is kung may magkatanong, baka masagot ko lang kasi ang ganito akin, pag nasa labas ako, sinasabi ng mga tao na ano bang trabaho mo? Sabi ko, i-standby lang ako. Pag sinabi na Commissioner, magandang umaga, Commissioner pala ako. So, ibig sabihin, yung parang gano'n na buhay, simpleng buhay lang yun. Kaya dito ngayon, nagpapasalamat ako sa inyo na na-invite niyo kami sa GAB na para alam ko marami pang magsalita, baka ubusin ng oras. Lahat sa akin, hindi ako maubusan ng salita. Thank you.
Sir, thank you so much, Sir Ed.
Ma'am.
Yes, thank you for the answers, Kumar. Marami pang tatanong sa mga kasama natin later, no? Vice Chair, tanungin ko naman si Sir Kristopher. Sir Kristopher, we know that Kendo is a Japanese martial arts. Can you tell us more about Kendo and ano yung mga programa para malalo natin maging mas papapalarize natin tong Kendo sa Pilipinas?
Yes, thank you. So Kendo is a Japanese martial art, as you said, that involves sword fighting. So it's the Japanese equivalent of fencing. So basically, two people fight one another using bamboo swords and armor. So I don't know if any of you watch Japanese movies or popular media, but that's where you see people wearing armor and then fighting with bamboo swords. So that's basically what Kendo is. As for our programs, what we've been doing is lately, well, actually the organization is actually very new. We only started in 2016, but we've been holding a national tournament every year since 2016. Though of course the one for this year was canceled due to the pandemic, unfortunately. And we've also been trying to beef up our programs for conducting education about Kendo, such as seminars. In some cases, some of our clubs have also started holding official PE classes in some universities. Like in the University of the Philippines, I personally teach a Kendo class there. In the University of San Carlos in Cebu, there's also a Kendo class being taught by one of the teachers there. So yes, we've been and of course through demonstrations and public showing of what Kendo is, we try to do that.
Sir Christopher, dito sa Pilipinas, how many Kendo practitioners do we have?
Right now, officially, we have about 166. That's from a high of about 200 from 2019. It's just that our membership roster for 2020 has been went down a bit because of the pandemic. But officially, right now, we account 166 members in the organization.
Meron ba tayong mga international competitions scheduled na next year? Well, alam natin na-cancel yung mga tournaments na dahil sa pandemic.
Yes, actually next year was supposed to be the World Kendo Championships it's to be held in France in May 2021. But what happened was the Worlds was officially it's postponed now. We don't know when it'll be held. We were hoping to join it next year officially because we're not actually qualified yet to join the Worlds, but we were working on it. We were supposed to have a decision made last May, but everything got postponed, and now we're still waiting to see if we're actually qualified to join the World. So that's something we're waiting for. Beyond that, in 2022, there'll be the ASEAN Kendo tournament, which will be held in Singapore, and then we were gearing up for that particular event also.
Thank you for the answer, Sir Kristopher. No? Vice Chair, punta naman ako kay Iris, ang ating Olympian champion. Iris, we know na isa ka sa 4 na Pilipino na sigurado na makakapag-compete sa Tokyo Olympics. Kumusta na yung preparations mo para sa Olympics sa ngayon na panahon na may pandemic tayo? Paano yung paghahanda na ginagawa mo para ma-maintain mo yung good physical and mental conditioning mo para sa Olympics?
Yun nga po sir, dahil nga po sa pandemic po, meron po kaming online training po every afternoon po. Tapos sa morning naman po, meron pong binibigay si Coach Boy Velasco sa akin na training more on endurance po. Kaya morning and afternoon po nagtitraining ako. At pag may time po, minsan pumupunta po ako ng gym, nagbubuhat po, nagwi-weights para tuloy-tuloy pa rin po yung ng training ko.
Iris, darating na Olympics, napag-aralan mo na ba yung mga probable na makakalaban mo sa boxing sa category mo?
Yes po sir, kasi noon nga po na nag-qualifying kami sa Aman Jordan, kung sino po yung mga nanalo doon, yun na po yung mga possible na makakalaban ko. So alam ko na po at inuunti-unti po na pinag-aaralan po yung mga galaw nila na kahit wala po yung coaches sa tabi ko, kahit ako po mapag-aaralan ko po sila.
Do you think yung chance na makuha natin yung first Olympic gold natin ay malaking ang pagkakataon sa'yo?
Opo sir, kasi sobrang tiwala po ako sa coaches ko po na andyan po sila na tumututok po sa amin at hindi po talaga kami pinapabayaan. Kaya ang ano ko po sa sarili ko is tiwala po sa kanila. Alam po namin na makakaya po namin.
Okay, thank you, Iris. Paister, isa na lang. Napunta naman ako kay James. James, again, welcome sa Tops. No? And last time na nakasama ka namin, you were world number 2 and now number 1 ka na. So, balitaan mo kami kung ano yung mga nangyari since naging guest ka namin last time and ano yung mga nagawa mo at na-accomplish mo para ngayon ay number 1 ka na in the world.
Yes, yes, thank you for the recognition, sir. I really appreciate it. When I became the world number 1, it was a very ecstatic feeling for me. It's not just for me, but for my kata coach in Japan, Masa Saito, as well, because we both really trained and really worked hard at it by joining a lot of these tournaments that will continue adding points to the world rankings for e-kata. But I mean, given that I'm already the number 1, I'm still not going to stop there because I have to maintain that spot throughout the year. And in order to further improve, instead of now, I still do focus on my competitors, but I also have to focus on competing with myself. Like I would score mga like around 23 or 24, and then now I'm scoring at 25s. And then lately also, after competing in the Katana Intercontinental League, I scored a 26, and I could say that I was the first e-kata player to ever score over a 26 in all of the virtual tournaments that I've joined, and I think no other e-kata player has done it so far besides me. So there's a motivation for me to become a better athlete, to compete with myself and to aim higher than a 26. So yeah, these things is what will keep me motivated. And also today, yesterday I just came from competing in another virtual tournament, and I think the results will be out today. I think along with Fatima, who is also currently competing in these virtual tournaments. I'm also proud of the progress that she's made, and I wish her the best of luck in the upcoming tournaments that she is also joining together with me.
Thank you, James. You mentioned Fatima. Fatima, ano naman ang mga preparations mo na ginagawa dito sa virtual karate? Well, yun nga, may pandemic. So, paano yung mga paghahanda na ginagawa mo kasama si James?
Well, I train with my coach, which is Senpai OJ, and my sensei, who is Sensei Jerby. He gives a lot of tips. And while I'm training and while I'm competing, Senpai James is always there to correct my stances or my movements. So basically, I improve very much, and I'm very thankful for him to be there as my coach. And as for my sensei, thank you very much for supporting me and all my family members and the other karatekas. Training, train, and train. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fatima. Vice Sir, siguro yung ibang mga kasama natin, I'm sure marami rin itatanong.
Thank you so much, Sir Ed. Up next, we have Sir Edwin Rolon of Balita.
Hi, good morning, Pfizer. Good morning sa lahat. Mark, good morning pati sa lahat ng guests. Ang tanong ko muna kay James.
Good morning, sir.
James, congratulations dahil you're now the number one sa award sa ICATA. Yeah. Ang tanong ko is, with this success online, ano na ba ang status mo sa national team? Kasi the last SEA Games, I believe hindi ka nakasama dun sa team eh. Hindi ka nakapag-compete. Ano na ba ang status mo sa national team so far?
Well, right now, I can say that I really, love representing the country, but in regards to that, it's not my decision right now. So the best to ask regarding that would be the NSA itself, because right now I'm just competing right now for the love of the sport, and also I really love my country, and I would, I'm just really proud to be of service to the Philippines. That's what's really motivating me right now.
Thank you. Isa pa, James, so far, ano ang instruction sa'yo ng NSA? Are you still part of the NSA, of course? Ano ang instruction sa'yo?
What's this? I'm just being independent right now. Like I'm, with the help of my family and my sponsor, Cafea. I've just been on these competing in these tournaments from my own effort, and I'm also glad that I got a couple of other karatekas like Fatima. She's also joining these tournaments with the support of her club and her family. Like that's what I've just been focusing on right now. That's because I really love karate. It's something that I can't let go of. I mean, being that I've been in it for such a long time. Yeah, those are the factors that are what's keeping me going into becoming a better athlete.
Okay. Ewan ko lang, James, I don't think kung remember mo na bago ang SEA Games, nakapag-dinner tayo with PSC Commissioner Mon Fernandez. During that time, with the help of Mr. Gotengkok yung dinner na yon. At that time, ikaw ang number 1 talaga sa division mo nagulat na lang kami bago mag-SEA Games na wala ka. Ano ba naging problema? May problema ka ba sa NSA? Tsaka kasi ang reality, kahit anong gawin natin, ikaw mismo, kahit anong gawin mo sa career mo, kapag wala yung NSA, sayang. Hindi mo maiano pag nagbalik yung normal na competition. Kung walang NSA, di ba, nakakapanghinayang. Ano ba talaga naging problema sa NSA? Bakit ganun ang naging treatment sa'yo? After those series of meeting na nakasama ko, magiging witness ako dyan, ikaw ang number 1 Ano ba nangyari, James?
Well, that's the thing there. What happened last year was very unfortunate for me, given also the fact that it was one of my biggest dreams to compete in a SEA Games that would be hosted here in the Philippines, and yet it just so happened to be last year. I told myself back in 2005 when the SEA Games was hosted here, and fortunately the karate event was in Cebu back then. That's my hometown, so that's when I told myself one day I'll represent the national team and compete in the SEA Games. But it's such a big dream for me to compete in a SEA Games that's hosted here in the country one day, and it was just I did 14 years for that, but unfortunately I did not. Unfortunately, I was really not chosen. But regarding what the NSA has with me, I really have no clue on that. I think the NSA would be the best to ask regarding that, because as of now, like that door last year, it closed, and I could say that there's a new door that opened, and it's these virtual tournaments, because also we don't know how long this pandemic will last. So this is my way, as I've mentioned earlier, of representing the country and showing to everyone that I still love karate and I'm still competing just for the love of the sport. Well, what happened last year was just was just very unfortunate for me. So I'm just continuing to move on with a positive note.
Okay, thank you, James. My next question to Fatima. Hi, Fatima. Yeah. Can you give us a little bit background mo? Saan ka nag-aaral? Tsaka previously, meron ka na bang na panalo ng mga tournament? Ilang taong ka na?
I just turned 14 last month, and I'm studying at Cayetano Science High School. And I have won a lot of competitions since I was 8 years old or 9, because I started karate at 8 years old. And I have also joined nationals and internationals. I have joined Thailand 2018 and the US California in 2019, and also Thailand again. And those tournaments gave me a lot of experience, and I'm very, very happy that I have joined. A lot of tournaments I have lost, but then again, I train to be better, and each tournament gives me courage to do more training. And though I pass a lot of hardships, I keep on going, and a lot of people supports me, like my family, other karatekas, and I'm very, very grateful for that. So currently now, I'm also thankful for my teacher for letting me pass my class, because actually currently it's MAPE time. So hi ma'am, and hi classmates. Sorry.
Hi, ma'am. Thank you for letting her join us here today.
Thank you, thank you,
Ma'am
mga
Lania
teacher.
Chito and Ma'am Milin Compasano, thank you so much. And some classmates. Thank you.
So, Fatima, are you a member of the national training pool or may imbitasyon ka na sa national team?
Hindi po po. Wala po po.
Okay. Thank you. Last question ko, Paiser, kay Irish. Dahil si Comar, mga nabanggit ni Comar kanina, marami na eh. Comar, good morning ha. Kay Irish na lang ako muna. Irish, congratulations ha, dahil part ka ng Olympic team natin. Pero after the amateur career mo, ewan ko lang kung may sa women's boxing, nakikita mo ba na pwede ka maging professional?
Sa ngayon talaga, sir, may mga nakikita ako pero hindi ko po iniisip na magpasok po ako sa professional po.
Ayaw mo sundan si Yumer, ah?
Hindi po. Hindi naman po sayo. Gusto ko lang po muna mag-focus po sa amateur career ko po.
Ilang taon ka na ba sa team?
Almost 12 years na po ako sa team.
12 years. So, pero
yes,
this is the first time na nagkaroon ka ng chance na lumaban sa qualifying test naka-Olympics, di ba?
Yes po, sir. Yes po.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Paiser. Good morning.
Thank you so much, Sir Edwin. And good morning. Up next, we have Sir Rico Navarro.
Thank you, Paister. Good morning to everybody. Ang tanong ko kay James De Los Santos. Sir James, alam natin number 1 ka ngayon sa virtual Ikata tournament. Anong nararamdaman mo ngayon na hindi ka nasama sa Olympics and yet napapatunayan mo sa kanila na talagang number 1 ka sa ganyang mga tournament?
Well, I mean, as far as I know that in order to qualify for the Olympics, there were a series of tournaments that we'd have to join in order to gain ranking points. That's one, and then the second is you have to be a member of the national team.
I want to correct my question. Na hindi ka nasama doon sa huling SEA Games, and yet nag-excel ka ngayon sa actually number 1 ka and 17th na yung nakuha mong mga medalya. Okay.
Well, actually, yeah, what happened in the SEA Games last year, it was very unfortunate to, with what happened. But then, I could say that, I didn't dwell on what happened during those events. Like when this pandemic happened, I continued to train, just to keep myself healthy and fit. But then as time passed, the frustrations grew, and I kept asking myself, I kept doubting myself, what else am I training for? And then when this new opportunity of virtual tournaments came about, that's when I decided, what, I want to come back and compete in these virtual tournaments. And all the I always reminded myself that, regardless of all the experiences that I've went through, no matter how painful they are, pain always leaves a gift. But it also depends on how you take it. It's either you dwell on what happened, or you take it as an experience to make you stronger and to move on. And that's what the events that happened to me last year, it motivated me to even train a lot harder and compete in these tournaments. And I'm just fortunate that my kata coach from Japan, Masa Saito, really wanted to bring out the best, especially like with the training in Japan that I had last year from my own efforts. And then it's just surprising to both of us that now I'm the number one now in Ikata. But then we also talked, and we told each other that no, this is still not the end, because I still want to also maintain my spot until, like, throughout the year. And also I've noticed that my performance has been really improving in every tournament that every tournament that I've competed in. And like yesterday, I just in my 33rd virtual tournament, and I'm hoping for good results. And yeah, I can say that I'm starting to widen the gap in the world rankings right now, and that's my focus right there. All the experiences that I've gone through last year, especially, really is that's what really is pushing me to become a much better athlete. And so that's I think yeah that's it's unfortunate, like I said before, but then again, it's made me into a much better athlete today.
Okay, okay. Tanong ko lang sana. Number 1 ka ngayon sa Ikata, di ba?
Mhm.
Marami ka na nakuwang medalya. Alam namin may problema ka sa NSA mo. Anong tulong na ibibigay sa iyo ng PSC, considering na meron kang issue sa NSA mo? Dahil number 1 ka ngayon sa mundo.
I was also told that the PSC would recognize and reward my efforts, but until now I haven't heard from them. But right now my focus is not there right now. It's really on to continue competing in these virtual tournaments, and to really maintain my number 1 spot. I mean, karate is something that I've lived with for a very long time. I just can't give it up so easily. So that's what's motivating me to continue competing. It's really for the love of my sport, and also to be in proud service to my country.
Okay, well said. Thank you. Paister, may tanong lang din ako kay Iris. Ma'am Iris.
Good morning, sir.
Congratulations, nakasama ka sa mga sasabak sa Olympics.
Thank you po.
Ang tanong ko lang, since na alam natin ng Pilipinas ang may pinakamatagal na lockdown, at alam natin na naka-affect ito sa mga training ng mga atleta. Ngayon, yung preparation mo para sa Olympics, ano sa tingin mo? Alam natin na medyo kulang dahil puro mga virtual. Ano ang tingin mo ang chances mo in case na nasasaba ka na ngayon sa pagdating ng Olympics? Anong chances mo na makakuha ng gold? Kasi alam natin na sinisilip talaga kayo na bilang unang makakakuha ng gold sa Olympics. So anong chances natin diyan?
So yun na po, sir. Yung po sa sarili.
Naka-mute.
kulang po talaga yung preparation. Kulang po talaga yung preparation ko for Olympic. Pero yun nga po sir, kasi wala naman po sila coach, maliban po sa online training po na pinapagawa nila. Bali, tinutulungan ko na lang din po yung sarili ko by, syempre, nag-extra training po ako para hindi po mawala yung physical condition ko po. So, ayun nga po sir, tiwala po talaga ako sa mga coaches ko na matatapos tong pandemic na to, malalagpasan natin at makakabalik kami sa training namin na normal po.
Okay, thank you. Pastor, limitahan ko lang muna ang tanong ko. Alam natin maraming mga kasama natin ang gusto rin magtanong. Sige, pasok ko muna sa kanila. Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you so much, Sir Rico. Up next, we have Gerard Arce of Bulgar.
Good. Well, thank you, Pastor. Okay. Ayan. So, magtatanong muna ako. First kay James muna. Say muna. Hello, James. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Kamusta ulit? Okay, nag-usap tayo ulit. Regarding do sa follow-up ko lang do sa tanong ni Sir Rico kanina, regarding do sa PSC, yung assistance na, meron na ba silang naibigay na assistance na yun, na parang tulong sa'yo, financially or kahit ano?
Well, actually, like, yeah, I've heard that that they would recognize me and reward me for my efforts. Like I've heard from from people, but then I guess until now, like I haven't heard from them until now. So I'm just continuing to train and compete, with the help of my family and my sponsors, and also to my coaching team, because like they're the ones that are really pushing me to maintain the #1 spot throughout the year. And yeah, that's what's really also inspiring me to strive harder in these upcoming tournaments. And like especially for the month of November, there are 12 virtual tournaments. Yeah, so I'm going to be joining all of them, and I'm going to continue training hard and stay focused, and really I just pray for the best results.
Dami pala, ang daming 12. Ngayon ba, malayo na ba yung agwat niya ni Eduardo?
See, from what I know, Eduardo right now is at 8,575 points. As of the world rankings that I've last checked, and me, I'm at 1,355. But then because I won the gold medal in the Katana Intercontinental League, that's my 17th. The points still have yet.
430, no?
The points still have yet to be added.
Okay. Thank you. Another question, James, regarding the national team. Who replaced you sa kata, individual kata? Kilala mo ba siya? Tapos, paano yung performance niya? And ano masasabi mo sa kanya?
Well, for me, from what I know, yes, the one who replaced me in the SEA Games last year was the son of the Karate NSA's vice president. But then, like, I can really say that I'm not really focused on that right now, because as I also did mention earlier, that that door closed already, and this is the new opportunity for me, which is the virtual tournaments. But then again, like, I'd also like to extend also, like, I'd welcome all players to to try out these virtual tournaments. I mean, what I like about this is it's open to everybody, and it's basically a neutral ground for everyone to compete in. There's no bias or any political interference. So I welcome all karatekas to give these tournaments a try. I mean, we don't know how long this pandemic will last, and you can't just to become a better athlete, you can't just rely on training. You have to also compete. That's what's gonna make you a much stronger athlete. You need to also fare against players who who are much better than you are, because that's what will set a gauge for you. That's what will set goals for you on becoming a much better athlete.
So, sa salita mo, parang tingin mo ba hindi naging fair si NSA sa'yo?
Well, yeah. What happened to me last year was very unfortunate. As you know, people have asked me like, what is my will I ever come back, or what is my status with them? I can honestly say that it's I do love competing and serving my country, but then again, it's not my decision to ever represent the national team again. I think the NSA would be the best to ask regarding that.
Thank you, James. Hopefully sana makabalik ka, para sayang yung yung galing mo kung sa online lang. Mas maganda kung actual, di ba?
Oh yes, sir. Like I do miss competing in actual competition, but then again, we're all stuck in this pandemic right now, and I could say that virtual tournaments are the new normal, not just for karate, but I think for several other sports. So this is my way of showing my love for the game and also showing love for my country.
Thank you, James. Thank you very much, James. To Fatima. Hi, Fatima. Good morning.
Sir.
Hello, good morning. Fatima, dream mo rin ba maging number 1 tulad ni Senpai James?
Yes, definitely, sir.
Gusto mo rin ba mag-compete sa national team? Gusto mo rin ba maging parte ng national team, or diyan ka lang talaga muna sa sa online?
As for now, sir, I am training for online tournaments, but one day I want to join the Philippine team and want to reach my goals as a number 1 player. Actually, it's everybody's dream to be number 1. But yet again, the best will always go at the top. So what I have to do is always train, do my best, surpass my limits, and always have faith.
Thank you, Fatima. Sana hopefully makita ka namin sa national team.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, Paister. Kay kay Irish. Aye.
Hi, sir.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Aye. Oh. Oy, condolence.
Thank you po.
Regarding sa sa Olympic dream mo. Syempre lahat naman tayo may Olympic dream. Gusto natin manalo ng medal or gold. Sa tingin mo, sa panahon ngayon, sa mga lagay mo ngayon, kamusta yung conditioning mo? Mga anong level na?
Kulang po talaga pag sinabing sa conditioning, kasi sa training pa lang po namin, sir, nahihirapan po ako. Lalo na po kahit online, kasi yung yung kalaban din po namin is yung connection po minsan mahina po ganun. So sobrang hirap po talaga, pero hindi po ako tumitigil. Pinupush ko po yung sarili ko kahit po wala po sila coach. Yun nga po, sa sarili mo, tulungan mo na lang po yung sarili mo. Yun na lang po yung ginagawa ko. At naniniwala po ako na someday natatapos tong pandemic na to at makakasama ko yung mga coaches ko at mga co-boxer ko at makakabalik po kami sa training para po doon po makapag-focus kami at mapaghandaan po yung Olympic po.
Wala pa bang anunsyo ang ABAP sa inyo regarding sa training nyo? Pababalikin na kayo sa Manila? Kasi parang ang plano, sa Inspire yata kayo ang boxing, ang taekwondo, tsaka ang karate. So parang ang target yata ng PSC, doon yata kayo dalhin. Wala pa bang development or balita sa inyo si ABAP, si Sir Ed, o si Sir Ricky?
Wala pa po silang sinasabi sa amin, sir, kasi yun nga po, siguro hindi pa po binabanggit ng mga coaches sa amin kasi gusto po nilang maging sure po kung ano po yung maging decision po, at yun nga po, naghihintay lang po kami sa magiging advice po nila na kung ano na po ang pwede namin gawin.
Ano yan? Meron ka bang gamit dyan? Parang nagpadala ba si ABAP o si PSC ng gamit dyan para may magamit ka na parang mitts tsaka mga punching ano?
Opo, meron po kaming sariling gloves po namin na galing po sa ABAP. Meron po, bali, dinala ko po yun, sir. Tapos, bumili na lang po ako ng punch mitt para once na kailangan ko po, may mag-minutes na lang sa akin. Saka meron din po akong punching bag na pinovide po yung kapitbahay namin. Bali, pinahiram niya po muna sa akin para meron po akong magamit kapag nagti-training po ako sa bahay.
Yun. Okay, last question ba para iba naman sa ano. Sino yung tingin mo na malakas? Yung talagang tingin mong ano sa'yo? Threat sa Asian tsaka sa World, sa Olympics. Sino sa tingin mo yung pinaghahandaan ng mga player tsaka ano sa bansa?
Sa totoo lang po, sir, lahat po talaga threat po talaga para sa akin. Kasi yun nga po, ako mismo sa sarili ko, hindi po ako makapaniwala na makakwalify po ako sa Olympic. Kasi alam ko po talaga, sa 51 kilograms sa timbang ko po talaga, marami po talagang magagaling. So, sobrang blessed po ako doon na isa po ako sa nakasama. So, lahat po talaga sila pinaghahandaan ko po. Gusto ko po talagang bumawi sa kanila sa mga natalo ko dati, sa mga natalo, kasi natalo po nila ako dati, lalo na po yung China, India, mga yun po. Yun po yung ano sa akin. Kaya, pero lahat po sila Opo. So, pinaghahandaan ko po yan, sir, at tiwala po ako sa mga coaches ko na malalagpasan namin yun.
Ito ba yung ano? Ito ba yung India, yung 7-time champion ba yun?
Yes po, si Mary Com po.
Si Mary Com? Yun ang
Yes
pinaghahanda. Bagay, ano yun no? Magaling talaga yung Mary Com.
Yes
Di
po,
ba magre-retiro yun? Matanda na yun.
Hindi ko lang po alam, sir.
Ayun, bale si bagay. Kayang-kaya mo yun. Kaya ka nandiyan dyan siguro.
Tiwala lang, sir. Yes po.
Oo, ano yan. Magtiwala ka lang, kaya magme-medal tayo.
Yes po. Train lang ng train, sir.
Training lang ng training. Thank you. Sir, kay ano po, sa Kendo po, kay Sir. Alam mo ito kayo ni Sir.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Sir Kristopher. Hello, sir. Good morning po.
Good morning also.
Sir, kamusta yung program natin sa Kendo sa Pilipinas? Para kasi, medyo kabilang to sa mga bagong sport na masasabi natin na parang uusbong to sa Pilipinas. Kasi normally, ang Japanese sport dito sa Pilipinas nakilala, syempre. Ako, I'm proud to say na I'm a judoka. I'm a coach ng judo. Si James, karateka. So, Japanese din. So, ikaw naman, Kendo. So, yes. Paano nyo ba masabing itong Kendo na to, tingin nyo magkiklik sa mga Pinoy?
Again, part of it is a lot of Filipinos appreciate Japanese culture. We get many inquiries about Kendo because they see it because people see it in Japanese media. One of the biggest stumbling blocks, however, is the fact equipment can be expensive. Definitely, it's something that you have to factor in when you take up Kendo. The fact that you have to get a bamboo sword to start, and eventually you have to get armor to safety spar. One of our programs, one of the things that we're trying to do is to make access easier. Some of the clubs, for example, get into deals with suppliers to help them equipment. And one exciting thing that we have right now is that there's a Kendo factory right now based here in the Philippines. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to see if we can get more access to that kind of equipment through them. Yes, and basically education also. While it is known popularly in Japanese media, we also want to be more mainstream in the sense that more people know about the fact that there is Kendo in the Philippines, and we're trying to work on that. And partly it's through this kind of forums like these. Thank you again for inviting me for something like this.
Thank you, sir. Second question po, sir. Nag-try na po ba kayong lumapit? Gano'n nakatagal yung Kendo sa Pilipinas? Tsaka nag-try na ba kayong lumapit sa ibang school or sa DepEd or any educational po na pwede niyong ikalat yung inyong sports, pwede niyo ipakilala ang inyong sports sa Pilipinas?
Yes. Okay. So first of all, Kendo has been existing in the Philippines since 1996 with the formation of the Manila Kendo Club. But it's only since 2010 when more clubs started coming out. Like the club that I manage, Ika Kendo Club for one. Then we had clubs in Iloilo form, Iloilo, Cebu, Davao, Dumaguete, and the latest is in Bago City in Negros. So yeah, so the spread has been relatively slow, partly because of the lack of instructors. So that's actually one of the reasons why we don't feel it's time yet to actually go to, for example, to DepEd or like that, because I don't think we can't offer a widespread instruction yet. That's something we can't offer at this time. Though we have approached again schools on an individual basis. Like last year, as I mentioned, I started teaching Kendo in the University of the Philippines in Iman, and one of my colleagues is also teaching right now in the University of San Carlos in Cebu.
Ay, thank you, sir. Hopefully, mas manlad pa yung Kendo sa Pilipinas para maganda yun. May, karagdagang sport. Kasi may artist na tayo rito. Sa Pilipinas, mayroon kami indigenous sport na artist and Japanese sport. Paluan na tayo, paluan.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping to get more people interested. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Kay Sir Mar. Sir, last question kay Sir Mar lang po. Sir, kay
I think he's not here as of the moment. I think he's taking a call. We can go back to him na lang.
Later na lang po. Thank you po, Sir. Thank you po sa guest natin.
Thank you so much. And up next, we have Sir Frederick.
Hi, good morning. Kay Sir Mar sana ang question kaya wala siya. Kay Sir Jun na lang. Sir Jun, andiyan kay Sir.
Yes,
Ayan. Kay Sir Jun.
Parking lot lang ako. Sige, okay.
Kumusta, Sir?
Okay lang.
First of all, I like to commend the GAV for helping yung pagbabalik ng PBA tsaka yung football. Question ko, itong may naririnig tayong kaso ng COVID positive sa sport at doon sa PBA bubble tsaka sa football, may power ba ang GAV na to stop or pakialaman yung dalawang tournaments na yun?
Yes, of course. Kasi kasi merong JAW na guidelines na dapat ipinapatupad sa mga bubble. Pero so far ngayon na-address naman nila yung naging positive sa kanila kasi minomonitor naman ng GAB kung anong development para malaman ng GAB kung talagang merong dahilan para ihinto katulad ng PFL chairman and the stakeholders like the LGUs had a conference nung nakaraan para itackle kung anong stand ng LGU at saka stand ng GAB at nagkasundo naman na na-address yung mga nag-positive. So inallow ng LGU and of course GAB will allow it na matuloy yung tournament nila katulad ng PBA din kasi last news nagkaroon ay monitoring namin sa second testing nila ay nag-positive ay nag-negative naman na lahat.
False negative daw.
So there's no reason not to allow the to continue the tournament. Kasi tinutulungan. Yes.
Aside from basketball tsaka yung football, anong sport pa po yung pinapayagan ng GAB na mag-resume ng tournaments?
Hopefully, this coming November, merong planong golf tournament at ang sinasubmit nilang protocol yung magkakaroon din ng bubble setup. So, in place na. So, as of now, hindi pa namin natatanggap yung application nila when. Pero tentatively, parang meron silang pinaplano this November.
About the volleyball, sir?
Ang volleyball, parang like the PSL or the PBL, parang wala pa. Kasi hindi naman nafa-finalize pa kung papasanction sila sa GAB. But the beach basketball the group of Charo Soriano, I think, is planning to turn pro, pero sa January pa. They're communicating with us with the necessary requirements. Yun ang latest sa volleyball.
Sir, may isang issue doon sa volleyball. Sir, yung mga student athletes nila, ano pong, pwede nyo pa ba silang bigyan ng parang temporary professional license?
Yes. The board has signed a resolution approving the issuance of special guest license to allow amateur athletes to play in professional league for training purposes and for a limited time period. Ibig sabihin, ito yung that will pave the way for the amateur players na makapaglaro sa Pro League pero hindi maapektuhan yung amateur status nila. Parang gano'n.
Na-coordinate na po ba yun sa UAAP at NCAA kung payag din sila sa ganung setup?
Actually, that's one of the requirement na nakalagay sa resolution na kailangan magpaalam sila sa league nila. Para hindi basta yung sa amin, we will issue a guest license for an amateur player to play in the Pro League. Yun. It's between the player and the Pro League, and the amateur league kasi sa amin basta gusto nila maglaro, yun. That's why they were extended a special guest license.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sir Jun.
Thank you.
Okay. Kay Sir Kristopher naman. Sir.
Sir.
Hello. Hi, sir. Good morning, sir. Sir, ano pong status nyo ngayon sa POC, yung Kendo?
Yes, actually, we're still in the process of checking if we're qualified to apply for membership. Our first target is actually to apply for the International Kendo Federation. That's the main project that we're doing right now. Once we're affiliated with the International Kendo Federation, then we'll be pursuing the PSC and POC applications.
Doon po sa pagsali nyo sa World Tournament, sinasabi nyo, ano po pong kailangan na requirements na dapat yung matupad?
Well, yeah, actually, it's the application to the International Kendo Federation.
Yes,
only International Kendo Federation affiliated countries can join the World Championships. But in terms of competition experience, we've been doing pretty well on a local level. Like last year, we joined the ASEAN Kendo tournament in Indonesia, and our men's team got third place. That's the highest so far by a Philippine Kendo team, and we're very proud of their efforts from last year.
Okay, sir, may natatanggap pa kayong parang financial assistance from the PSC kahit na wala pa kayong affiliation sa POC?
Yeah, no. Actually, in terms of the definition of amateurs, we are the definition of amateurs because none of us do Kendo full time. We have our day jobs, we have we have our schooling, and we only do Kendo as a, well, I don't want to say it's a hobby. We do Kendo as something we love doing. We try to do it as much as we can while doing also the things that we have to do to earn a living. And yes, we still try to push our agendas as an organization as much as we can, in spite of those limitations.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Okay. Next kay Irish naman. Question.
Hi, sir.
Hi. Good morning. Now you hold the distinction of being the first Filipina to qualify. Yeah, you hold the distinction now for being the first Filipina to have qualified to the Olympics, no? Siyempre, target mo to become the first Filipina gold medalist. Ang tanong ko ngayon, sino yung, give me 3 names na makakapigil sa'yo na ma-achieve yung gold medalist, na may yung pinaka-matindi mong competition. You have the names. Siguro naman kilala yung mga nakakalaban mo. Sino yung mga 3 names at least?
Hindi ko lang po alam yung name nila, sir, pero yung country, yan po talagang inano ko. Yung China po, isa na po yan. Hindi ko lang po alam kung, para po sa akin na, yung Vietnam po, hindi ko lang po alam kung makakapasok pa po siya kasi sa ngayon po, hindi pa po siya na-qualify. And then yun nga po, yung sa India po, na si Mary Kom po, yan po yung sa tingin ko na makakahadlang sa laro po sa Olympic. Pero yun nga po sir, hindi ko sila hahayaan na hadlangan yung pangarap ko na ito po na makakuha ng medalya sa Olympic.
Okay. Ang Olympics is sa June yata next year, no? So sa tingin mo ba,
yes, sir,
from now until June, makukuha mo yung shape na gusto mo? Yung level ng shape?
Yes po sir, sa tingin ko makukuha ko po yun at yun nga po, sobrang tiwala po ako sa mga coaches ko po na andyan po na nag-guide po sa amin na kahit hindi po namin sila kasama, na nagtitiwala po ako sa kanila na makukuha po namin yun before po yung Olympic.
Okay, yun lang. Good luck sa iyo.
Thank you sir.
Meister, okay na ako. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Fred. Up next, we have Sir Dennis. Pa-mute lang po, Sir Dennis.
Naririnig na ako?
Yes, sir.
Gumanda si Ernest ah.
Natawa ako doon.
Tsaka bumata.
Birthday.
Oo nga. Ano ba nangyari? Anyway, kumusta kayong lahat? Sir June, nandiyan ka pa ba? June Bautista, sir?
He's still here. Sir June, naka-mute po kayo?
Wala na si Sir June?
Andito pa siya. Sir June, can you hear us?
Wala kaya sa comfort room?
We can come back na lang po. Ayan, Sir June.
Yes.
Sir June, kumusta?
Mabuti naman, mabuti.
Hindi, alam mo, actually this is very short. So it's very clear, it's very clear na unless magpa-sanction sa inyo yung PBF and the PSL, hindi talaga magkakaroon ng hindi talaga magkakaroon ng liga. Kasi that's the first step. So they are in freezer right now unless kumuha sila ng lisensya sa GAB. Kasi GAB may power na mag-recommenda naman, I think sa IATF ba, for some sports to resume. Katulad na nangyari sa basketball at iba pang sport.
Oo.
Ba yun? Ganun po ba yun?
Kasi pagka sanction ka ng Games and Amusements Board, you will be under the guidelines provided sa JAW na binuo ng PSC, DOH, and GAB. Kasi may mga guide, yun yung kaya binuo ang JAW para guidelines para sa professional sports. Isa yon para magkaroon ng set of protocols o safety protocols na gagawin sa mga tournament nila.
So that's the plain and simple truth. Kailangan magpa-sanction sa GAB for things to move on.
Yes, para makatulong ang GAB sa paggalaw nila at to go on with their tournament.
Okay.
GAB can be of great help in that aspect.
Meaning, because they are pros, they have to get the licenses. Sir, matanong ko lang, mura lang naman yung lisensya no?
Mura lang naman. Kasi actually kung volleyball, they have to submit their proposed fees, then the board will study kung okay yung kasi hindi natin pwedeng i-pattern sa basketball which is mas mataas ang threshold ng fee. So when they apply to turn pro, kasama yun sa application nila, letter of intent, then they will submit their proposed fees for the players' licenses and officials. Then the board will study.
And so far, sir, anong feedback nyo? Are they willing to submit sa GAB, sa authority ng GAB? May mga feedback ba kayo naririnig?
Parang wala parang na-stall yung usapan before. It's only the beach volleyball who are willing to turn pro by next year pa.
Okay. And this also apply to the MPBL, which is also a pro, I think, ang ruling.
Yes, insofar as GAB is concerned, they are considered a pro league. Kaya we sent the letter to them, and as of now, parang walang positive na response from the league.
Sir Jun, maraming salamat at regards kay Chairman sa mga kasama natin.
Thank you, boss. Thank you.
At talaga pala nangyayari ang milagro kasi gumanda talaga si Ernest. Bye, Paps. Bye, ta. Thank you, Pastor. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Dennis. Oh my gosh. Tignan natin kung ano yung reaction ni Ernest na may. Ayan. So up next, we actually have a question from Miss Annie Abad from Business Mirror. I just have a question for James and Irish. For James po, is there a chance that for you to play for the national team again? Kasi kung kaya mong maging number 1 in the world sa ikata, malaki din yung chance mo for the world champion as sa actual competition.
Well, because as I've mentioned earlier, like it's really an honor, serving really serving the country as an athlete. But then, in regards to my status with the national team, or if ever I will return, that's not my decision to make. I think the best one to ask would be the NSA.
All right. And another question for Irish. Kamusta na yung boxing clinic mo dyan sa Iloilo? Dumami ba yung mga tinuturuan mo or nag-stick kayo sa 10 persons lang?
Yun nga po, ma'am. Nung Saturday po ulit, bali nag-continue po kami ng second session po namin sa boxing clinic po. So, nag-stick lang po kami na limit lang po yung tao, hindi lang po siya tataas ng 10 person po.
Thank you so much. And up next, we have Ivan.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Pai, sister. And ayun, suti ko na kay Sir Jude. Kasi yun nga, although I believe medyo na-add sa ito ni Gov Baham ng Tuesday. But kasi nga, I heard this news that the UAP is not kind of honoring the special guest license kaya hindi nakalaro sina Enzo Serrano sa NBL, and I believe medyo nagka-problema na rin si 1GGL sa Chuk. So, parang what will be the next step in case mag-reiterate ang UAP na wala mo nang sasaling college players sa pro leagues?
Is that for me?
Yes, Sir June. Yes, Sir June.
Ang issue na yan, the Chuks or the NBL League should communicate with the UAP or the NCAA leagues. Kasi part of the resolution, part of the requirement ng resolution for SGL is they have to seek clearance from their league, from the amateur league, para kasi ang the SGL license extended to the amateur athletes will pave the way for them to play in the pro league na hindi maapektuhan yung amateur status nila. Yun ang sagab.
So, parang yun ba naging case kaya medyo napayagan yung ADT sa PFL? Kaya nagpag-coordinate yung PFL sa mga liga ng UAP? Or ano ba naging pwesto naman ng ADT? Kaya sa pinayagan?
Can you repeat your question? Come again.
So how was the ADT, the Askers Development Team, cleared to join the PFL? Kasi nga, most of them are still amateurs.
Parang ano yan eh. The PFF has requested the PFL para maglaro itong youth team, part of their training. Pero ang nangyari, sa training lang sila and they are not allowed to play in the sa team mismo. Parang hindi sila pwedeng maglaro sa actual na game. Part ng training lang nila. Kung parang pag na-escalate yung tawag nito, yung kapasidad nila to play, then ina-adapt ng team, then Gov will license them as a professional. Pero parang there was arrangement with the PFF na palaruin ang mga youth team sa sa team ay sa liga. Parang ganoon ang arrangement. Kung hindi ako nagkakamali, parang ganoon. So there's no need for them to get a license, parang hindi pa nililisensyan. Pero kung pag sa tingin ng team parang nakaka-cope up na pwede na maglaro sa team nila, so nililisensyahan para makalaro sila. Parang ganoon.
Ayun, so let's go back now sa napag-usapan rin kanina yung beach volleyball kasi I believe the PSL will have its own beach volleyball tournament next month. So paano sila nakalusot kung di pa sila pwede? Ano ba naging kwento kaya napayagan sila ng IATF?
Kasi kung ang beach volleyball is under PSL or PBF, parang hindi sanction ng GAB yan. So I think it's the PSC ang under the jurisdiction of PSC yan. So I don't know what's the arrangement with the IATF. Kasi hindi pa sanctioned ng GAB ang PSL at PBF. Yung sinasabi ko kaninang nagpaplano, the group of Miss Charo Soriano, pero next year pa. Parang ganon. The third pro.
So speaking of BBR, when will be the next meeting between BBR and GAB? Ma-further yung mangyayari next year.
Siguro we will communicate as soon as possible kung ano yung plano nila para malaman namin. So that GAB can be of help kung may plano silang baka gusto nilang, kasi we cannot intervene or can be of help to them kung hindi sila sanction ng GAB.
So, dapat naman po tayo sa combat sports kasi I believe on December 5th may mangyayaring boxing ata, then meron rin yatang URCC sa pang some sort of a bubble sa tubig. So, para ba naging kwento kaya napayagan sila for December 5th, yung boxing pati yung MMA?
Sorry kasi hindi ko masyadong masagot siguro yan because I'm not aware of the schedule ng MMA sa kasi I am now the head of the professional basketball. Before I was boxing division and contact sports. So hindi ko alam yung schedule na sinasabi mo, whether is that an amateur activity or pro?
No, pro. Kasi I believe World Boxing Title match sa December 5th, then I believe it's URCC on December 15th.
So, siguro patawagan na lang kita kung ano yung schedule ng kasi at the moment I have no idea.
Okay, I'll pin me my number lang. Ayun, so
yes.
Thank you po. Okay, so let's go naman to Sir Chris. Still here, Sir Chris.
Yes. Nakamute po kayo, Sir Chris?
Yeah, sorry. Yes.
Ayun. So we all know that Kendo is nga like what Sir Gerard earlier said, medyo hindi nga siya ganun kawelo sa Pilipinas. So how will you make the Filipinos, especially the so-called masa, aware of this sport? Like, for example, will there be online webinars or will you prefer face-to-face training na rin?
Well, one thing about Kendo, it's hard to appreciate actually through online, or I mean, you can watch videos about it, but it's once you see it actually in person, it's actually a bit more I would say maybe dramatic. Kendo is known to be one of the loudest martial arts, and that's something that that's something that proves true. Every time a new person comes to one of our dojo, they'll go, "Why is everybody screaming?" But the kiai that we do, it's like a battle cry that we do for to practice the art. But yeah, it's so I think in terms of what our plans, it's more on direct experience. As I mentioned, I think before, we have been trying to push for more demonstrations, for example, where people can actually watch what we do. more seminars where it's now that are open to the public, so that people can see how we teach and then how we do our drills, or how we do our spotting and things like that. So I think it's more on the lines of actual viewing at this point. But definitely, if there's an opportunity for, let's say, a widespread showing of what we do online, that's we're open to that, definitely.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Now let's go to James naman. James, are you still there?
Hi, good morning, Ivan.
Yeah, good morning. Okay, so I noticed during your sports data profiles, although you've been kind of rivals in terms of the rankings with Eduardo Garcia, at least in the recent events you're in, you've been pitting against Nejic Ternisa, either in the final or in the semifinals. So talk about this budding quote unquote rivalry between you and Ternisa.
Well, yeah, because actually also with Nej, actually he's because we follow each other on social media. His father also recently added me on Facebook, and then yeah, like we've talked before, and I see that yeah, Nej also is playing for the national team of Slovenia, so I would say that he would be a very formidable competitor, and I mean, aside from him, I would say that I don't take any of my competition for granted, because you never know if they'd be training harder for the next tournaments to come. So that's what's keeping me motivated as well, to maintain the number one spot by continuing my training, because I know players like Nej and others out there will also be after that spot. So yeah, as I mentioned, that's what's keeping me going. And yeah, so far I've been facing Nej in a lot of final matches. I can say that he also has been I can say that he's been also improving in his performance. And yeah, I look forward to matching up with him again in the next tournaments to come.
Thank you, James. Now let's go to Irish. Irish still there. Irish, nandiyan ka pa ba? Irish? Miss Irish?
Hi, sir. Good
Ayun,
morning.
hello po. Good morning. Ayun. So, nga, parang you mentioned earlier na yung training medyo nag-stall because of COVID-19, with only 8 months left, I believe, before the Olympics. So, parang is there a plan na mag-bubble na kayo para lang matuloy na kayo, or ano ba?
Yun nga po, sir, pinag-uusapan na rin po yan ng mga coaches and sa ABA po, na yun nga po kung pwede nga po kami mag-bubble training. Pero yun nga po, hinihintay pa po nila yung mga galing po mismo sa IATF po na kung papayagan po kami. If ever naman po, naghahanap naman po yung ABA po ng lugar na kung saan po kami pwede mag-stay at mag-training ng sama-sama po.
Po, sir. Thank you, Irish. Okay. Bye, sir. I'm good for now.
Thank you so much, Ivan. Up next, we have Miss Abby.
Hello po. I wanna ask Ma'am Irish po. Ma'am Irish, hi.
Medyo naglag lang ng unti. Okay.
Wala pa po.
Medyo naglag lang siya.
Si
ibang questions.
Sir OJ naman po muna.
Yes. Good morning.
Hi, sir. How proud are you that the students that you're helping are also bagging medals in IKATA?
Me, first of all, like I would say that being the number one ikata play in the world has really set me on a high. But I'd say that training these students and seeing them win has even set me a lot higher. It's really it's very fulfilling to to teach them, to share them the knowledge that I have, and for them to use it out in the tournaments and to see them bring home great results. That to me is like, that makes me also proud, not just as an athlete but also as a sensei, or as a teacher for karate. Like one of our guests here, Fatima, she's training with me, and I also coach her during these tournaments, and I can really say that I'm very proud of her progress. And she's really she has been joining a lot of tournaments lately, and in every tournament that I've seen her compete in, she has been improving in her performance. I mean, not just her, but my other students from MKKPI, Julia and Karen. They've also been improving as well. I think lately Julia grabbed a bronze medal in the I forgot which yeah, the tournament, the Katana Intercontinental League, and Karen also is currently competing in the semifinals right now of this the Pune Open India e-tournament, and she will also be joining other tournaments to come. And I can what I can really say for them is that I'm very proud of their progresses and their performance, and I really wish them the best of luck in more tournaments to come. And congratulations on bringing virtual medals and making our country proud.
Sir, I'm just curious kasi kayo na po yung world number 1. Are there any sponsors na po ba that approached you? Yun nga kasi without the NSA and
Well, I could say that for these tournaments lately, it's been my family, and I do have a sponsor, Cafeya, who has been supporting me since 2018, and ever since, I've always they've always been with me even during my toughest challenges, and they never gave up on me and are still supporting me until this day. And that's the type of sponsor that you can never let go of, especially those who've really been with you even during the times that you've really struggled. So I'm really thankful for that. But as of now, like, I'm just focusing on the tournaments and also my training. And I believe that if you just work hard at what you love to do, everything else will just naturally follow. So that's really my focus there right now.
all right, thank you po Sir OJ. Kay Ma'am Irish po, available na po.
Yes, she's back. Miss Irish?
Hi ma'am. Ma'am Irish.
Naglalag ulit? Hold on. All right. So can we pwede natin siya balikan later?
Sige po, later na lang. Thank you.
All right. So we have a couple of questions sa ating comment section right now from Ron De Los Reyes II. Para kay Irish. Okay, we're going to ask this later on. And we have from Gab Ferreras, for Sir Kristopher, once na ma-normalize ang lahat, magkakaroon po ba ng tryouts para sa Philippine Kendo team sa mga upcoming tournaments gaya ng ASEAN Championship?
Yes, so actually before the lockdowns happened earlier this year, we were already forming a training pool for the Philippine Kendo team. The idea is to have these members of the training pool be first priority for joining international tournaments. Of course, with the lockdowns and everything, we couldn't further develop that. But what we're having them do right now is the members of the training pool are undergoing semi-monitored physical fitness programs, so that once training resumes after things normalize, they're ready to go for regular training and are okay to train at full speed once things normalize. But yes, effectively, the national training pool will be first priority for any competition.
Thank you so much. Miss Irish, can you hear us now? Medyo naglalag lang. Pero Irish, we have a question from Sir Rondelis Reyes II. Hi Irish, aside from you, kung sino pa ang mga women boxers natin, sa tingin mo ang may-ari, ano ba? Tingin mo ay maaari pang mag-qualify for Tokyo? Irish, can you hear? Ayan, so may question tayo sa ating comment section from Sir Rondelis Reyes. Sino pa sa women boxers natin sa tingin mo ang maaaring mag-qualify for Tokyo?
Meron pa po tayo sa 60 kilogram, ma'am, si Neshti Petesio po. Isa pa po yan na inaano natin na makakasama ko po sa Olympic po.
Very nice. Something to look forward to. We have a follow-up question from Gerard.
Hello. Thank you, Ate Pfister. Ayun. Kay Sir Jun po. Sir Jun Bautista. Sir, ayan po ba si Sir Jun?
Yes.
Ayun. Good afternoon, good
afternoon,
branch po, sir. Apo. Sir, tanong ko lang, sir, kasi parang nabanggit yata ni Sir Baham nung last Tuesday na meron daw bagong mga parang magpo-pro na sports. Parang nabanggit yata ping-pong. Ano pa po, sir, yung mga iba pang sports na parang lumapit sa inyo para mag-turn ng pro?
Ayun nga, isa yun yung ping pong, pero in the works pa, nakausap na namin yung isang official nila, pero yan, humingi ng requirement, saka inaayos pa nila yung ano yung mga needed requirements siguro. Hindi pa ulit kumukontak, pero meron kaming point person doon na inassign para to communicate with them. Ang huli na nakausap ko personally yung grupo na ni Miss Charo Soriano, yung beach volleyball nila. Pero next year pa yung plano nilang mga activity. Inaalam lang nila yung what are the requirements needed for them to turn pro. So binigay ko naman at siguro next year na sila mag-a-apply. Kasi sabi na next year.
Ayun. Thank you, sir. Inano ko lang kasi na parang napapansin ko parang pagdating nitong lockdown na to, itong pandemic, parang ang dami gusto mag-pro na sports. Oo. Kasi sunod-sunod eh. Nung binigyan ng chance yung basketball, syempre PBA yan. Normal yan na football, dan chess. Tapos yung ano naman, beach volley. Ngayon ping pong. Ano kaya susunod? Baka sipa, may pro na rin.
Hindi naman siguro. Kasi alam naman nila na under sa PSC yan, yung mga NSA sports natin.
Thank you po, sir. Salamat po. Maraming po salamat.
Thank you.
So, kay Sir Chris po. Hi, hello po,
good morning again. Yeah.
Sir, ano po yung, kasi po, parang, naglaro na po ba tayo sa sir? Nag-representative na po, may dinala na po ba tayong representative sa SEA Games dati? Naglaro na po ba tayo doon? Or meron na po kayong plano? Kasi parang kailangan yata para maging member kayo, maging associate member or mas tumaas pa yung rank nyo, kailangan yatang sumali sa SEA Games, parang gano'n, Asian Games.
Actually, Kendo is not a part of the SEA Games, Asian Games, or Olympics. It's a sport on its own. But from what I read in the PSC charter, and I don't know if it's correct or not, but as long as you join the equivalent tournaments, like in our case would be the ASEAN Kendo tournament, and then that's why we're also targeting the Worlds. The World Championships. So those are equivalents of of SEA Games or the Olympics at that level. So that's why we've joined the ASEAN and we're targeting to join the Worlds to help our case in becoming a PSC member.
Pero wala po kayong plans or may nakakausap po ba kayo sa ASEAN nation na ibang groups like sa Kendo, sa Malaysia, Thailand, or anything po na parang gusto niyo magkaroon ng SEA Games ng Kendo?
I'm not sure. First of all, I'm not privy to some of the because we're not yet affiliated with the International Kendo Federation. I'm not privy to some of the discussions of the other ASEAN member nations. But as far as I know, there's currently no plans yet. It could be something that we could discuss later on once we are affiliated. Maybe part of it is that not every country in the ASEAN is a member of the International Kendo Federation. So having it accredited by having the SIAG competition accredited by the FIK might prove to be an issue. So I think part of it is more nations have to be a member of the FIK. But again, yeah, that's beyond what I know currently, and I don't want to engage with chismis or something like that. So yeah.
Ayan. Pero member kayo ng IF, sir. Matanong ko lang po, may IF kayo. Member kayo ng IF. International Federation.
International Kendo Federation. Not yet. We're still working on that. So we were supposed to have a decision made this year, but because of all the postponements, we're now on hold. So we're still waiting for that decision to be made.
Okay. Sige po, sir. Thank you po, sir. Thank you po.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you. Yan. Thank you po, Pastor. Salamat po.
All right, thank you. Up next, we have Sir Danny Simon. Morning, Sir Danny.
Morning, Katap, and sa ating mga guests. Na-exhaust na yata lahat ng tanong. Anyway, kay Iris may tatanong.
Sige, sir. Sir, medyo mahangin lang, sir.
Okay na?
Much better, sir. Ayan. May question po kayo kay Irish?
Kay Iris.
Wait lang. Medyo lumabas ata si Irish. Pwede po natin siyang balikan, sir? Sa iba po ba, may question po ba kayo?
Alam ba? Yung sa IKATA.
Hi. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Alam naman natin lahat yung pandemic, yung negative ang hatid sa atin sa buong mundo. So dahil sa pandemic, nagkaroon ng mga virtual tournament. So how do you take it in positive aspect?
Well, sir, because actually when this whole pandemic started, like the whole country was on lockdown since March, and then I still continued training just to keep myself healthy and fit. But then as time passed, the frustration started growing, and I would start to have doubts with myself. Like I would ask myself, like what other reason do I have to continue my training? That's when the negativity started building up. But then when I stumbled upon these virtual tournaments, so it made me curious, and I decided to give it a try. And when I did, it actually motivated me even more. And then I saw that Sport Data, also being the official tournament organizer for the World Karate Federation, they would also develop a world ranking system for virtual kata. So that's what motivated me even further to continue competing in these virtual tournaments. I would tell myself that if I compete in every tournament that I can join, I could go far in this. I could reach great heights in virtual kata, and that's what I did. And in just a span of 7 months, like I've joined already 33 virtual tournaments, and I'm already now the number one in the world for virtual kata. But then I can't keep myself complacent there, because I know that for a fact that there's going to be more tournaments to come. I think for the month of November, there's going to be 12 tournaments, and I've already signed up to join all of them, just to help me maintain my number one spot throughout the year. So that's what's going to keep me even more motivated, and to also see my students from MKKPI. I think one of them is here, Fatima. Yeah, she's I've seen so much improvement on her performance, and yeah, she has won virtual medals lately from these tournaments as well. And I'd really like to congratulate her, and I'd say that I'm very proud of the progress that she's made. And I'm very also thankful to her chief instructor, my former teammate also, Jerby Lacorte, for really lending us his support. It's really like, I'm very grateful for that, especially those.
Do you think that?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that when pandemic is over, your virtual tournaments will remain?
Well, I could say, like, in regards to that, yes, when the pandemic is over, definitely actual competition will resume. But then I would still say that virtual tournaments are an opportunity for, for karate practitioners out there, like who, especially those who can't afford to travel and compete internationally. Even especially locally, it could be difficult because there's the airfare and the accommodations and the like. So I would say that virtual competition is I would say it's another opportunity for them to experience, like especially competing internationally, because you can just do it from home. That's how much virtual tournaments have made it easier for athletes around the world.
Okay, congratulations for being number one. So, okay, Iris. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Iris. Iris. Hello. Tanong ko lang.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Ay, good morning po.
Okay ba? Okay na?
Yes, sir.
Iris, tanong ko lang kung halimbawa natuloy yung Olympics nung last 2020, yung original schedule, palagay mo kaya may gold medal na tayo? Sa boxing, katulad mo?
Palagay ko, sir, meron na, sir. Kasi nung training namin, after po ng competition, isunod-sunod na po. So, continue po sana yung training namin, saka marami po sana po na tournament bago po yung uli. Sir.
Sir Dan.
Okay ba?
Mm-hmm.
Halimbawa,
yes, sir.
Doon sa 2021 Tokyo Olympics, nandun ka na sa finals. Ano ang magiging motivation mo? Kasi minsan pag nasa finals, nag-iiba eh. Kahit na well-trained ka, iba yung kailangan fully motivated ka, go for gold.
Opo, sir, yung inaano ko lang, sir, yan po lagi na kapag lumalaban po talaga ako, iniisip ko yung inaano ko sa utak ko, nagpo-focus po ako lagi doon para wala na pong ibang maano sa utak ko. Kaya lagi kong ginagawa.
So, palagay mo taga-Asia makakalaban mo?
Sa palagay ko, sir, yun po talaga.
Ano ba mas okay sa'yo? Asian o yung mga European or mga puti? Alin magaan sa'yo?
Mas okay na po sa akin na makalaban ko po yung Asian countries, lalo na po yung if ever man po yung China, gusto ko po talagang bumawi po talaga sa kanya.
Sabi mo kanina, parang underdog ka dahil lahat babawi ka sa kanila eh. So, ang ano nito, hindi ka pinaghahandaan at ikaw pinaghahandaan mo sila. So, malaking advantage sa'yo yun.
Yes, sir. Yun nga po, sir. Yun nga po yung inano ko sa sarili ko, sir, na kahit meron po tayong pinagdadaanan ngayon sa pandemic, continue lang po, train hard lang po para, kasi meron po akong ini-aim sa sarili ko eh. Gusto ko po talagang makakuha ng medalya sa Olympic.
Pero buo na sa isip mo na once na nagka-gold ka, mag-iiba talaga ang buhay mo.
Wala pa po sa ano ko talaga yan, sir, yung ang focus ko lang po talaga is yung matuloy po itong Olympic at makapag-medal. Hindi ko po muna iniisip kung ano po mangyayari pagkatapos ng Olympic po.
So, good luck, Iris. Go for gold.
Thank you, sir. Thank you po.
You raise the Philippine flag.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sir Danny.
Last question kay Comar.
Sir June?
Andiyan pa ba si Commissioner Mar?
Parang wala
na po. Pero si Sir June po is here.
Baka
itatanong ko lang sana kung kung talaga ipupus ni Senator Pacquiao yung kanyang commission, kailan i-implement yun? Nasa batas na ba?
Exactly hindi kita masagot, sir, kasi hindi ako nakaka-attend ng hearing nila kung ano yung nasang stage na yung hearing ng bill. Kung nasa final reading na o nasa hindi ko, I have no idea. Opo.
Sa palagi ko, the present administration, hindi makukuha yan.
Within this year, siguro sir, kasi dun sa implementation yan, if ever na kung magawa nila yung batas, it will take time. Kasi sa budgeting at saka, siguro, hindi ko, I have no idea kung saan hong stage yung naging, yung sa hearing ng bill. Sila ho ang uma-attend.
Yung mga combat sports, parang against sila parang redundant daw sa kanila.
Yes sir, kasi yan namang boxing and contact sports nasa mandate na ng GAB since 1950. Nasa supervision and regulation na ng GAB. So kung titignan natin, parang redundant na talaga kung magkaroon na. Although yun ang kukunin niya, yun yung mandate yata ng PBC, yung supervision and regulation of pro boxing and contact sports.
Okay, so wait and see lang muna tayo.
Yes sir, wait and see talaga kung anong wisdom ng Senado. Opo. Thank you.
Sige, salamat.
Thank you.
Any question pa, Sir Danny?
Okay na. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. All right. So right now we have a question from Miss Ann Abad. Sir June Bautista po, yung MPBL po ba hindi nag-apply ng license?
Hindi po kasi we've been communicating with them na dapat maging sanction na sila ng GAB, pero at the moment walang positive response talaga. Kung hindi sanction ng GAB, hindi namin i-require na mag-license sila and to get a game permit for them to conduct basketball games. Kailangan nasa classification sila na pro league before we can require them to get a license of their players and the game permit for their events.
We have another question for Miss Irish from Miss Abby Toralba from Abante. Aside po sa bubble, are there any plans na mag-training po kayo sa abroad like Umir, Marshall? Miss Irish? Hello? Ay, kumanta daw. All right. I think we're having a little bit of connection problem, but we are going to proceed. We have a follow-up question from Ivan.
Ayun. Sir June, ayun. Sir June, may tanong lang. Na-curious lang kasi
yes,
the PBA is already pro, then the NBL just turned pro, then kung sakasakay matuloy na rin MPBL. So there's a possibility na magiging tatlo na yung professional basketball league sa Pilipinas. And we all know before na nagka-problema ang Japan sa FIBA because of that. Kaya na-suspend sila. So if in case na with this scenario, are you willing to talk with the SPP about this situation para hindi mayari yung participation ng Gilas sa international competition?
Siguro pag i-determine ng board yan. at makikipag-usap sa SBP kung ano ang kasi hindi ko 'di ba nangyari naman na kung ang gagamitin ay professional players, pinapayagan naman ng GAB provided they will ask permission from the board to play in the FIBA sanctioned games. Ganun lang ang nire-require ng GAB eh. So hindi naman pinapayagan naman ng GAB yung pro players na maglaro sa amateur like the FIBA sanctioned games. Basta magpaalam lang sa amin. There's a resolution regarding to that.
Thank you, Sir June. Okay, is Fatima and James still around? Are they still around? Fatima and James? Okay.
All around.
Yeah, here you go. So since I think Sir June already mentioned this, so talk about the mentor and student relationship between you and Fatima, for both of you.
Well, I could say that well, I'm just very I'm very proud with the progress that Fatima has made throughout these virtual tournaments, and I could say that she's also a fast learner. Like when I coach her in these because there are a lot of times when we both see each other in the same tournament venue because we also have tournaments on the same day, and when I see her performing, I can really see that she's made a lot of progress especially when I'm there to make suggestions on to correct the mistakes that she makes. She really shows an effort to apply the correction in during the competition, and I can really say that I'm very proud of the progress, and I just really want to congratulate her for all the achievements that she has brought so far, for not just for herself, for her family, but for the country as well.
All right, Fatima, talk about, or she's really here.
She's here.
Yeah, Fatima, talk about James as your mentor.
Sir, could you repeat, please?
Yun. So talk about James being your mentor, and how about in your relationship?
First of all, sir, he inspired me so much being an athlete, and I'm very thankful for him that he introduced me to the sports data tournament, and I saw my improvements. I saw how he teaches. He's very patient, and I love the way he teaches. And when he teaches, he's very precise and watches our movement very closely, and he loves what he does. He loves to teach us. I can see that in him. So when I do karate or when I train with him, I'm very excited. And once I'm excited, sometimes I do my best. And when I do my best, I always achieve something very good, like winning in the tournaments. And for that, I'm very thankful for Senpai James.
Thank you very much, Fatima. Thank you, Pfizer.
All right. And thank you so much, everyone. And before we wrap up, I'm going to give the floor back to Sir Ed.
Okay, thank you again, Pfizer. No? Before yung wrap up natin and yung weekly group photo natin with our guests, maybe we can ask our guests to make their parting remarks. Sir Kristopher, maybe you can invite us again or invite our guests, mga friends natin na manood ng Kendo sa mga darating na panahon.
Yeah, okay. Thank you again. Yeah, thank you again for having me here today. I hope I was able to at least introduce Kendo to everyone here. In the future, hopefully we'll be staging, and hopefully with things normalizing, we can stage another national tournament. That we usually hold it around October. So hopefully October 2021 we could have one again in Manila. We plan to schedule the one for this year in Manila. So most likely we'll be holding it in Manila next year if it will be pushing through. So I'd like to invite everyone to attend the national tournament once if ever we do push through with it next year. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Sir Kristopher. Iris, thank you again for joining us. Your parting remarks, please.
Nawala po ata si Irish. We can proceed po.
Okay, si James, your parting remarks, please.
I'd like to say thank you again to everyone, especially to you, Sir Ed, for having me here again on Tops. It's really an honor to be here once again, and I will definitely keep you guys updated in the upcoming virtual tournaments that I will be joining, as well as with my students from MKKPI as well, who will be competing in more tournaments to come. And again, thank you very much for having us here. It's really an honor.
Thank you again, James. Fatima, your parting remarks, please.
For my closing remarks, sir, thank you for having me. I'm very grateful. And shout out po sa mga senpais ko from MKKPI Dojo and my sensei Jerby H. Lacorte, to my parents and to my classmates and to my fellow Cayetano, Cayetano Science High School. And thank you for me having. Thank you.
Thank you, Fatima. Si Iris is wala pa, no? Or yes, si Sir June Bautista. Sir June, again, yung GAB, alam natin na matagal na natin ka-partner sa Philippine sports. Sir June, in behalf of GAB, your parting remarks, please.
In behalf of Chairman Baham Mitra and the board and the two commissioners, Commissioner Ed and Commissioner Marma Sanggid, it's always been a pleasure to be part of the Usapang Sports, and we hope to be part of your forum in the future, as always. Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you, Sir June. Paistar, si Iris na wala yung connection na, no?
Wala po, sir.
Okay, so again, in behalf of the Tabloids Organization in Philippine Sports and our partners, the Philippine Sports Commission, the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation, PAGCOR, and the Games and Amusements Board, nagpapasalamat ako sa lahat ng mga naging panauhin natin ngayong umaga at muli ay ini-invite ko kayo na samahan kami sa susunod na edition ng ating Tops Usapang Sports on Air. Thank you, Paister. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Before we go, can we have a quick photo op? Can I ask everyone to please open your cameras? Yan. Sir Danny?
Danny.
Yeah. Sir Danny?
Dansmon.
Wala si Sir Danny.
Sir Danny.
Nawala.
Double B.
Double B.
Okay. Everyone smile in 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us, and have a wonderful day and stay safe.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, James.
Thank you
Sir
po.
James.
Thank you again for having me. Thank you.
Everyone.
Thank you, Sir Chris.
Bye, guys.
Danny tulog. Danny tulog yata.
Danny, nawala.
Tulog.
Nawala si Sir Danny.